hot boy band group of 2023. But it's about the future of community and economy, and they're going to be discussing how Web3 is going to be affected in the future by mass adoption. What will it look like once we actually get there, and what steps do we need to take to get there? So whenever you want to start, Jake, please feel free.
Thank you, Prince. Hello, everyone. My name is Jake. I'm currently working with CyberConnect as a Korean market lead. And thank you for joining our session today. So as Prince introduced, we're gonna talk about the future of society, community, and economy. So we have very good super power talents from Korea and everywhere. Thank you, Takanori from Japan as well. And they have different backgrounds, different views and perspectives and experience. So this might be the best time to listen to about the future of Web3 in general in terms of the topics we have. So I will pass the mic to one by one so that they can briefly introduce their background and what they're doing now.
Hi, I'm Jeff from Hana Securities. So I'm the senior portfolio manager in Hana Securities and managing the company's own equity. So for that, I'm investing in some private equity, including the various sector, including the blockchains. And I'm the member of the steering committee of the Hana Financial Group's next blockchain TF, or also Hana Securities blockchain. So that's it.
Hey guys, my name is Michael. I've been with Binance for the past 13 months. I've been with the Binance institutional VIP team, covering clients from APAC. Before that, I was in TradFi in Hong Kong and Seoul for 7 years in sales and trading, dealing with structured products.
Hi everyone, my name is Takanori. I'm based in Tokyo. I come from Binance as well, same team, VIP and institutional sales team. Before coming into Binance, actually I've been here for a bit less than a year, but I was with Kraken before, same position, covering institutional clients. And before that I was around 7 years in the asset management industry, covering mainly sales for mutual funds to basically bring in new strategies to Japan, and then pitching them to banks and brokers in Japan. Yeah, very nice to meet you.
Hi all, this is Bo Yang, founder at P12. P12 is a Web3 gaming infra project. We built a Web3 gaming editor as well as a Web3 gaming publishing platform where we already have more than 1 million verified real users who have shared their gaming credentials with us. But our main project aside, so today's panel's topic is Web3's impact on society and economy. Myself and a few friends, we are also the Chinese version translator of the book, The Network State by Balaji from last year. So we are super excited and enthusiastic about the topic of Web3's impact on society, and glad to be here. Thanks.
My name is Bo of Xangle. Xangle is, we started as a disclosure and listing rating system company back in 2019. It's 18, so it's actually been about 5 years. Actually one of the co-founding members of Xangle. Now we're actually switching our business model to Web3 ERP system. Mainly because we did the disclosures and ratings, we have a lot of very strong connections with exchanges, government, and Web2 big players like conglomerates and everything. And then we found some needs from those entities and then those institutions that they need to have some sort of Web3 accounting tool to adopt Web3 business. So now we're focused on that. That's my, yeah.
Hello, my name is Jay, and I'm the Web3 business lead from the Lotte Group, and our main project is now a Bellygom NFT project. And recently, Bellygom has successfully launched a new collection called Bellyland, and this is for expanding our community to more global audiences and make some new reward system through game experience. And we adapted dynamic NFT solutions so that people can feel the same experience, same metaverse experience without any metaverse platform. So if you get into the Bellyland ecosystem, just you're playing some games and get some rewards, and you get some tokens, and you can swap that token into our like L points. L points is the one of the main mileage that can be used in the Lotte infrastructure. So let's say if you get L points, you can buy some snacks in Lotte Mart, or you can buy some product bag in Lotte department store, everything. So like that's our model now. So Lotte has a very big legacy infrastructure for over like 7 years, I guess. So we are now bridging the Web 2 area and the Web 3 area together. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all for introducing yourself. So we have a lot of people, but fortunately we have these people, and as you see, they are full of experience in this industry and also other industries. So first common question for all of you guys, what was the main motivation or reason you chose to move from Web 2 and Web 3? I know all of you used to work in the Web 2 parts and also moved to Web 3 during the last summer, DeFi summer, or recently during 2022. So yeah, I will start from J1 first this time. Yeah.
Yeah, so as personal, I want to learn more about the creator economy because I was a music producer before I joined the Lotte Group. But for speaking for the team, Lotte Group has a solid background in Asian market, but there are always a need to expand the business to the global audience. But if we use the Web 2 tool, we have to like build a factory in US, and that costs a lot and takes a lot of time. But we adapt Web3 as a tool so that we can connect with a global audience and co-work with some Western market projects. So that's our strategy and why we are moving on to the Web3.
No. All the fancy stuff aside, I'll tell you a little story how I got in this industry. I used to work in AI cybersecurity. It was actually a British company called Darktrace, and I was one of the engineers. And I was like, going through some investigations in one of those public institutions, and then I found like 17 servers working exact same thing. And then those 17 servers were the only devices that I could find making some signals I never had heard before. And then I talked to the person in charge, and he was like smiling at me. Yeah, I got 17. I was like, what the hell is this? And I called him, and I had to go through the interview, and then he was like, will I get fired? And I was like, I think so, using it personal purposes. And then he said, okay, I will. And then he was still smiling. So I told him, asked him, why are you smiling? And he said, because I was mining Ethereum. It was 2016. And then right after that, I researched on Ethereum for about 3 months. And after 6 months, I quit the job and in this industry with a whole bunch of Web3 people. That's how I got in here. Ever since I quit the job, I never regret it. Cause I'm from the 90s, I'm 90s born, and I saw all the bubbles and dot-com bubbles and everything. I truly believe that we will hit that mark pretty soon. So I know that a lot of people have doubts, and I know that a lot of people think that it's full of scammers and everything, but it's just on the way. I know what people think, but I have very, very deep belief that we're gonna hit that point.
Yeah, so the question is on why some of us decide to join Web3. So our expertise is on gaming, so this question I would love to share more from personal experience. So there are two parts to it, why I decided to go into Web3 and crypto, and why we kind of decide to translate the network state book, which seems unrelated to what we are doing as our main project. So to start off, I first get to know about Bitcoin back in 2014. We were at school, a bunch of computer science kids, and to me it was just seems like a wasteful database, right? You kind of duplicate your data everywhere, and I wasn't sure what purposes that can serve. But so I didn't went all in at that time naturally. But as time goes by, I gradually grow this belief and faith on crypto and decentralized technologies, and I realized that these corresponds quite well with how much you are screwed by centralized institutions, right? For those of us who never get screwed, you do not feel the strong need. As you get screwed, you feel more and more the real pain. And then you start to realize, okay, I want to own my assets. I want to own my data, my social, and eventually my identity, and so on. So moving forward, I mentioned I grow a strong belief in Web3 and decentralized technology because it seems we can make this judgment that, okay, do you think the world will increasingly be more chaotic, be more messed up in the sense that, okay, you will increasingly get screwed by these centralized institutions? Will they do evil or will they treat you well? So if you make that judgment, it seems obvious, then decentralization is inevitable. Whenever you get your bank account freezed, whenever you get your data leaked, whenever you realize that you cannot move your asset or whatever real estate assets that's under certain policy or regulation that suddenly you cannot control it anymore, or whenever you are denied entry to whatever borders, then I feel like such cases and scenarios will be more and more common, and more people will join our camp. So I would love to share this faith with everyone I meet, and in the future, if you encounter one of those, you will know the pain, and you will understand why these mad people somehow advocate decentralization all the time. So that's how we got in. And for the second part, so I would like to share about this book, Network State, and this concept. So we did a translation of the book. The book kind of relates to the topic we have today, which is Web3's impact on society. Right, that's a big word because most of the time when we talk about build a project, it will be a small piece in a bigger puzzle where, let's say, you build a DeFi protocol and a social product. That would be great. But can Web3 have more profound impact? Can it kind of shape the fundamental structure of the world we're living today? So that's what Network State, the book, is talking about. So I would like to throw the favorite example by the original author, Balaji Srinivasan, and also our favorite example for you to ponder. All right, so network state sounds ambitious, it sounds empty, so what is it about, right? So imagine this scenario. There is FDAs everywhere in every country, right? This is the bureau, this is the organization from the government that controls the publishing of drugs. So imagine that you are a patient, you have certain disease, and there is a drug that's exactly for you. But that drug is not approved yet. So how FDA works, it will take a long time, right? Clinical trials, first trial, second trial, before the drug can actually be manufactured and pushed to market. And for FDA people, they are government officials, they better not make mistake. If they never ever approve your drug, it doesn't hurt their career, right? There's no punishment on them. But what if they ever approve a drug that actually has a certain side effect that cause some damage? It will ruin their career. So it's a natural tendency, the structure, make FDA very bureaucratic, very slow, inefficient. So let's say if I am a patient, I'm dying, I'm willing to pay any price just to let some pharmaceutical company to manufacture this drug, and I'll give it a try. I don't care about side effect, right? That's clear value to be created. There's clear need to be fulfilled. If you can somehow cooperate with a smaller country, you can grab a parcel of land, then you say, okay, this is a special economic zone, special policy zone, where in this zone you can lawfully, you can manufacture these experimental drugs. And then the pharmaceutical company will sign certain contract with the patient saying that, okay, there might be unknown side effects. Are you sure? Do you take the full responsibility? As a patient, I will say, yes, I'll take it. Then I'm willing to pay for it. And then in the end, the patient will get a shot at life. The pharmaceutical company can make money, and we get rid from the control of those bureaucratic FDA. This is such a win-win-win status. And as the owner of that parcel of land, you get a certain income from taxation, from otherwise income. So we are effectively doing arbitrage on the regulations. And it's not hurting anybody. This is clear value to be created for the society. Right? This is one of the biology's favorite example. It's also our favorite example. It shows how by building a network state, it's not really rich boys want to just buy an island and do all those stuff. It's really creating new value for the world. And moving on from there, you already have a parcel of land.
I'm sorry, but we have so many speakers. So
Yeah. So I'll quickly wrap up. So Web3 can have a profound impact on society and even nation states, which is like the fundamental structure.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Thank you.
So just briefly, going back to my career portion, I briefly said that I was 7 years in the asset management industry. So I was pretty happy with my career. I started at Goldman Sachs Asset Management, then I moved to another US asset manager called Alliance Bernstein, which interestingly manages the biggest mutual fund in Japan. So it's not Fidelity, it's not BlackRock, it's not GSAM, it's not JP, it's Alliance Bernstein who manages the biggest fund in Japan. So business was very well, so I was pretty happy with my career. But then this news came in, right? El Salvador accepting Bitcoin as a official currency. And this kind of like relates to my personal background. I'm half Japanese, half Peruvian. So I've been living in Peru for 7 years. So I kind of like know how it's like the Latin American community works and the society works there. And unfortunately, there are people, especially in the rural areas, who don't have access to banking, right? So they will keep tons of cash at home and without a proper bank account, right? So when I saw this piece of news where this guy was telling, to the reporter in El Salvador, like he used to pay the bills, like gas bills, electricity bills, like make a 90-minute trip, like just one way, and then on the way back another 90 minutes, just for paying with cash, right? But with Bitcoin set payments, he could do it instantly just with his smartphone. So it basically changed the lifestyle in El Salvador, and I hope it kind of like helps other countries in Latin America as well, because here maybe in Korea or Japan it doesn't matter much. We don't feel like inflation to be such a huge thing, but in Latin America obviously these local currencies tend to, Argentina, Venezuela, they tend to have inflation, right? So when I thought that this was going to change the world, I thought it was a good opportunity to change careers, and that's how I initially applied for Kraken and got this role. Yeah.
I think there are a couple of things that motivate me the most. One of the push factors were, finance was great, high-paying job, dynamic, but it wasn't an industry that was expanding. It was a shrinking industry. A lot of operations were sunsetting. So that was disappointing. But also seeing some smart money flowing into crypto, like Brevin Howard in the beginning, and a lot of TradFi firms. I thought the smartest brains in finance industry going into digital assets actually meant something. And after those first movers, we've seen the slower money, what we call the real money, like BlackRock and like the Alliance Bernstein guys coming in. So that's pretty a natural flow in TradFi. After that, we're seeing a lot of custody business being initiated by the traditional banks like Fidelity, Boni, and Deutsche. So I think that really means something, that the smartest guys graduating the best top universities are doing something in digital space. And also, I guess the pull factor is how Binance was able to show me a blueprint how an exchange could also do a sell-side job in the crypto industry. In a traditional world, it may not seem normal, but this is a new industry. So, I mean, first come, first serve. So they were able to penetrate into the market first, and they were able to create such institutional role to bring in the institutional clients. So that, I guess that hooked me. So I was able to jump the ship.
Yeah. Thanks for all the times that made me think about why. Because I'm still in the shrinking TradFi sector he mentioned. So actually, half of my body is still in Web2 side. So I traded Nasdaq public stock yesterday. So still Web2 guy. But half of my body is in the Web3. So I own my team's private equity portfolio. So some of them, most of them, have the same theme. We are focused on some structural change or structural growth. So main theme was actually the previous our fund theme was an energy transition. So using the lithiums and and reason why my company, my team is focused on the blockchain sector is these technologies are disruptive. So and as a people individual who work in the TradFi sector, if this blockchain and Web3 themes can grow, this will be disruptive to our TradFi field. So it is really important to have a knowledge on this sector and tracking and be the early stage investor on this field is really important to the TradFi companies too. So and if as an investors, I can compare with what is the difference atmosphere between the Web2 and Web3. And mostly Web3 builders have something has a different thinking that they can change the role. So mostly other sectors, they have maybe have a business plan or how to go to market strategy, but they don't think that they can change the role or whole culture. But mostly when I meet the Web3 builders, they think they can change the rule, or even that one is so old rules or so basic rule of the society. They think they can change the rule. So maybe if they success for that, even though the survival rate is lower but if that success is dangerous to the TradFi. So that's why I focus on and have a certain percent of investment portion is blockchain field in my private equity.
Yeah, yeah, I really appreciate sharing all your motivations why you jump into Web3 fields. So let's deeply talk more about the future parts of all your backgrounds and based on your experience. So basically, as I wrap up all the comments from you, all of you, is basically either you're looking for a new opportunity in this new field, the rising industry, or you feel something not correct or not working well in the existing industry, and you think that blockchain technology can actually solve that problem, or you personally wants to improve yourself because this is an emerging industry and you will have more and more chances to make your own business and also become a successful businessman. So the first question is gonna be maybe to Bo because I'm not sure every one of you know about Xangle or what they are doing, but as I quickly summarize what they're doing is basically helping all the foreign projects about the research and introducing all the business partners in Korea, and also they do a lot of things other than that. But based on that, what I want to say here is they are one of the core contributors to build the Web3 community in Korea and also the society itself, because they are one of the core businessmen in this industry. So in your perspective, maybe what is different between the time you joined the Web3 and now, and also what do you think in terms of the society and community, especially in Korea? Is it something still going up, or after the bull market in 2021 and 2022, it's going down and a lot of people are losing interest? What do you think about it?
Please I think he probably has better experience than mine because he's from Lotte. But anyways, yeah, you know what? Everything starts with the money, right? Because it's fun. It's exciting, like, and then if you look at Korean market, it's one of the exciting market ever. Like we have this explosiveness. No matter what the coins you have, it's gonna pump up and down, and you see all of the fluctuation and everything. But that area has gone. Like now we're facing like the second phase, which is not about Web3. I mean, tech-wise. I mean, what I want to say is like we still talk about like Web3 techs and how we can solve problems and everything. But you mentioned it and he mentioned that, and we all have different culture. Like for example, Korean people have no issues at all. Like we can still use credit card, it's working fine. We can just believe our government. There's no issue at all. I haven't had anything yet, but we just keep saying that it's gonna change the world. How? So at the end, we can. It's like at the end, it's all about people, right? You guys can probably have different ideas because, like you said, that there are a lot of scam guys and everything, but we have no one here. All the scam guys are from Web3 side, rather than just Web2 side. Actually, that's the reality in Korean market. So at the end, it's all about people. We like, rather than just explain about how high tech we have, like how it's gonna solve all the tech problems and everything, like decentralization and centralization, all of stuff. We want to just open up that. I think it's more important to open up the discussion with traditional market, because I mean we can just swoop in and say that this is better than your system. You dummies. We can't say that because they're going to lose their jobs, right? I mean, to like seriously implement this culture or Web2 tech, we have to talk to the people, not talk to tech. So that we really have now phase of discussion, like socially, and the community will, I believe, will solve this problem wisely because we always have done it, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea and that's a great comment on it. And also, as you mentioned earlier in your comments, that you think Jay might be the better person to answer to this question. So I would like to ask the similar question, but in a different angle. So you are from the traditional entertainment and music side, and of course you are doing something similar at Lotte Group, also leading the Web3 projects, also known as Bellygom, right? But in this kind of way, so do you think that the technology of blockchain or Web3 itself, or like all the infrastructure, do you think has it helped the growth of the Web3 in terms of the society or community, or do you think it's still going up, but actually it's really hard, or like a little bit of it is helpful? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and I cannot agree more with both. Koreans are very, very tech savvy already. They can send some money through thumb and Face ID and no issues at all. And they are like so familiar with that service. So if they onboard to the Web3, they're always like, oh, so slow, so expensive, and we have to handle that issues every day as an enterprise. So it's a really, really challenging stuff to keep going in this industry. But one thing I can find some great point on the Web3 is like we can build a real community through Web3. So I don't think many enterprises are like approaching the Web3 as like solution for new technology, because for their side they are more into the centralized way because they can manage every micro details through their service already, and they are very successful and they already have a solid business model on the back end. So they have no initiative to build a new program, new applications, because it costs a lot and it does not guarantee anything. So our perspective is if you build a Web3 community, it is like no ceiling and no barriers to approach the global audience, and you can manage your community with a very intense engagement, and that engagement can be like let's say we made a Bellygom community and they are so engaged and they love to buy some goods and food in the Lotte infrastructure. So that's our strategy. And I think NFT programs nowadays are two types. So one type is a Web3 native project. They are like drilling down into a Web2 infrastructure, like Pouch Penguins. Pouch Penguins are selling toys these days. I think that's a very clever movement. And for Web2 brands, they are building their own community because they have no presence and loyal fans these days. Like, let's say Lotte is very big, but it's not Nike or Apple, right? Nike and Apple got their solid fandom and they can feel the philosophy behind this enterprise, but Lotte unfortunately does not have that fandom. So our approach is like building that fandom so that it can last forever.
Yeah, that's great. So nowadays, the day by day, everything is changing so fast, and also the infrastructure part you said, of course, everything has to be engaged with the community, and also it's gonna be helpful if we can collaborate or let's say like combine together with the Web2 industry. But that's from the entertainment and community side. But as Michael said before, maybe we can find some of the issues from the traditional industry, let's say finance. They are still using papers to get the certificate and still using the old ways, like consist on the new old ways to make any progress. And thankfully we have Hyuntae here today to share some insights about it. So Hyuntae is actively investing in both parts, but also he said some of the portfolio consists of Web3 technology companies or Web3 companies. So what would be some of the perspectives on those investments, and what would be some of the future you saw from investing in Web3?
Right. So let's say this. I'm working at a security company. So security companies, what a security company do is basically brokerage. So, but I manage the company's own equity. So I'm identify myself not a broker, but an investor. So sometimes when I invest and review the tax from the Web3, then when I use my portfolio's funds to invest that, I feel that yeah, if this company will success and go to and be next like Apple or something else, maybe there is no like in juicy products from the TradFi sector anymore. So maybe there will be some like a seventh floors, all the brokers have to go home, and then basically Web3's thing is what Web3 want to do is seamless and no boundaries. So compared with the TradFi sectors, what they have to do is lowering the margins, lowering the brokerage fee, and no any interceptors on the value. But what security company do is intercepting value while they distribute the values. So that's what platform owners do. And Web3 people want to be build their own infra and own distribution channel with the lowering fee. So that is what I think, in my personal opinion, that's what Web3 people have to do. But some of Web3 projects pitch our team that these are what Web3 environment have pain points now, and we're going to solve it. So we're going to increase the margin to use that platform. That is not what Web3, but under that scheme, people will not move to Web2 from the Web3 because there's some still margins. So it's all about the margins. So why people go to Web3 from the Web2? Because they're lowering margins. Why great mind people build their Web3 projects? Because they can build their own infra with no margins. That's the beauty thing. But if builders think that they want to go to the niche market in the Web3 sector and picking up some more margins with like an user experience improving kind of thing, that is not actually there. They are saying that they are Web3, but I think that is not what whole the culture's direction have to go. So that's I think that the most different thing, and maybe the future technology have to go.
Yeah, so blockchain technology started from Bitcoin. Actually, it started from helping and decentralizing the economy parts. And back in 2018 and also post 2016, a lot of people started to jump into crypto market based on that, like decentralization on the economy side. And that's where all the payments and infrastructure companies started, a lot of them. And we also have here like two people from the traditional finance and still and now working at the forefront in the cryptocurrency trading at one of the best platforms out there. Would like to ask you, so in this perspective, how would you describe or define Web2 economy and Web3 economy, and how would you what do you think if this infrastructure or Web3 technology, is it helping to improve them, or is it something or totally different part in terms of that in terms of your definitions? Would first ask to Michael.
Well, I think the terminology of Web3 is a little too broad, but just looking at the word blockchain and in finance, yes, definitely. If you look into the financial companies, the operations are pretty much horrible. A lot of corporate chops are still done in paper, like Jake has mentioned. If those were all to migrate it to blockchain and they were to be scripted in Ledger, yes. And you see the likes of JP Morgan and their project Onyx in Singapore working on that. So yes, there are potential, but the cost of implementing it worldwide and the time for everyone to adopt will still take time. And honestly, if it were to be initiated or implemented like tomorrow, that would be great for the industry, but that is not going to happen right now, and it will take time for everyone to participate. Sorry, I don't have much on this, but maybe Takanori can add a little more insight to this.
Yes, please go ahead, Take.
So I'm not sure if the picture will be correct in this case, but like, for example, in case of Japan, like doing a foreign currency wire, like sending USD or euro to abroad is very difficult. Very not a friendly thing to do, right? So if you run a global company, let's say you have office in the States or Europe or wherever, right? So and you need to rebalance funds. Obviously, it's not like easy to do so, right? But when it comes to digital currency or digital asset, it's as you guys know, it's there's no SWIFT or anything. It's way easier to do. And then when we say so, then traditional finance guys will say, oh no, but then how about controlling money laundering and stuff like that? But as you're all aware, right, like it's thanks to the blockchain technology, this is more transparent than anything else, right? So like we still don't see much M&A happening in this space because of this. So like things like that, I think kind of, it's not about which one is better, but it's kind of like maybe with Web3 is helping actually Web2 to get better, right?
Yeah, so when I was young, there was a term called globalizations, that everything is gonna be globalized. Like everyone on this earth is gonna share everything and use everything and access to everything. And now I think based on the infrastructure and technology we have, the main difference between Web 2 and Web 3 is about that. Maybe decentralization, but decentralization in the more realistic term, it should be globalization without any barriers or like obstacles. Boyang is doing his own project, so I think he can also share more info about like what would be some of the key ideas in terms of the Web3 mass adoption that you see from this infrastructure growth, and what do you think of the key values in terms of your community and society, and also maybe your game economy as well.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I think I'll quickly wrap this up. So, like all our panelists have shared great insights. I think one of the point of coming to such conferences to meet people from different, very diverse backgrounds is to really understand different situations and different groups of users' need. For example, we all understand in Korea, It's very tech savvy. The needs has been fulfilled very well. Whereas if you talk to Turkish people, talk to Argentinians, these are big countries, right? They're no small deal, but they are struggling. So in that sense, definitely Web3 is having an impact from there and spreading to the world. Specifically to our case, we are, like mentioned, building Web3 gaming infra, and I think it was Jay's point, we are trying to provide value to the community, trying to form that cultural and a bond where users will kind of follow your product and your brand name for the long term. That's something we look forward to. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's probably like time to wrap up this session, but thank you for all the great insights and everything. So this will be the last question for all of you based on what we have talked today. So we have talked about what we think about the Web3 and also based on the experience and careers from Web2 side. And also we have shared insights about what is going to happen to like infrastructure growth in these industries, like let's say entertainment and also business development projects and research, finance, traditional finance, and we all agree that maybe the Web3 technologies is going to help to grow the expansion of the industry and businesses, but also at the same time we still have to think about the potential problems and issues that we couldn't have solved yet. So let's say in 5 years or 10 years, all of you, do you still think that Web3 industry is going to last, or you will be staying in this industry doing similar things?
I think we hope so, but there will be so many challenges because being a pioneer in this Korean industry, we have to make money, right? But make money means building a business model behind this Web3 infrastructure. But I know startups are getting great and they are solving problems in the Web2 and they got great technologies, but there are some user experience issues still. So I think the next step is solving that user experience and deliver the same fluent and like seamless experience as Web2 to the Web3 users and make themselves, like, so to say, as an ambassador, so to Web2 people can onboard more. I think that's a totally next step.
Oh, can you pass the mic to?
Well, this is my opinion. The key success for Web3 is to be invisible. I mean, no one wants to know it's from blockchain. No one has to go through all the wallet making and stuff. You know, I still remember back in, like, I graduated high school '98, and then there was a dot-com bubble and everything. Everybody was talking about IT. It's like, oh, we have to work in IT. IT is the hottest one and everything. Everybody wants to be there and everything, and then no one talks about IT anymore. Bored. Like, everything is IT, basically. It's going to be that way, I believe. So blockchain is, now we're talking about this vertical, like blockchain is vertical. I think it's going to be like someone down, going like this, and then it's going to be the infra of every society. It means that, yes, we will work in blockchain, but I don't know if people will think we're in blockchain, because it will change everything. It will be the actual infrastructure of everything.
Yeah, so it's very, very difficult to predict 5 years or even 10 years. I just wish for, bad things won't happen, world peace, all banks will be solvent, and right. But if that doesn't happen, if any of the bad things happen, then crypto is your hedge.
Yeah, kind of agree about that. So I guess today we see tons of projects, issuing new tokens and stuff like that. Obviously, there are other new projects coming in and stuff like that. But 5 years from now, I'm sure, I think there will be like a difference between, like an equity style token, like basically adding value to the company, and more like a settlement method token, right? Like let's say Bitcoin. So I guess that kind of like a separation would happen clearly. It's kind of my opinion, and yeah, as you know, you were mentioning, like, you know, it could become like a standard or not like a new thing, right?
Short answer, yes. Maybe 10 years time, we could be talking about Web 5 or Web 10, so you never know. And I'm totally with Bo on this, in a way that the blockchain is a technology that will become a technology, maybe not an industry. So the technology will have to be compatible with other industries for it to survive. Could be AI, could be finance, could be medical, could be just anything, or just any other sector that just is a newcomer to the industry.
I think that's up to the Web3 builders. What will they do within the 5 years? So, as I said, people have the Web3 builder, if they build that, before that, what Web3 have to do, and the answer to the question is, what will they gonna do, Web3, what the Web3 can transfer the value. Web3's theme is transferring values without, like, seamlessly and boundariously. So if they focus on that, they can change. They can change the users, and they can pick up the user from the Web 2, from the Web 3. But if they just focus on that, just chopping some art or cow or whatever, alternative in this thing, just mimicking the Web 2 investment style to the just make it being like another system of a ledger is not a thing. The builders should think about how they make it, the value can be transferred without the latency or without lowering fee. So that's the basic questions for that. So if they do success on that theme, maybe change will be faster. But if they just focus on that, the new investment opportunity that they invest on art or invest on something else that just mimicking. There's a reason why Web 2 people doesn't invest a lot on the art or cow or other theme. So we should think about that.
Yep. Thank you all of you for taking your time with us today with the great insights and everything. So nowadays we talk about a lot of different topics, like let's say the hottest topic in Korea is STOs, or we also talk about RWAs, when we think about the DeFi or CeFi, POS, DPoS, those terms are now gone. So I'd love to quote from what Bo said, that early in 2000, we were talking about the bubble booms and dot-com bubbles, IT bubbles, everything. But IT became the foundation of our life, like a real life. And I'm sure that blockchain will become the foundation of our next generation's life. So I cannot agree no more than what Bo said about this. And also, really appreciate you to listen to this amazing panel session, to all the audience. And also, thank you for everyone. And I'd love to see more engagements, and this is probably one of the rarest opportunities that you can listen to these amazing guys' insights. So please have time after this panels, ask questions, and get social. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.